From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The results are in.
This year, we have had almost a 25% drop in non-fatal shootings from last year.
The summer surge to get guns and criminals off the street seems to be working. In fact, let's go by the numbers released today by U.S. Attorney Dawn Eisen's office.
Homicides in Detroit as of Labor Day have gone down significantly from the high of 209 in 2022. If you take a look at 2024, it is 145. But law enforcement says it's still way too high. Let's get right out now to Sean Lay. And Sean, the One Detroit program was specifically designed to address this.
One Detroit, exactly. Guns, gun crime, homicides, things of that nature. Look, I cover these announcements every year. There's been 3 or 4 of them so far, and good information coming out of them. But we're talking about numbers. And I always say this, Karen and Devin, numbers mean people out here. This is the 8th precinct. Here's the west side, an enormous precinct, street after street, family after family. So we come out here with the new numbers, tracing in the right direction. That's good. Even show this way, over here across the way, where you got a huge neighborhood. The numbers are trending that way, but are people here? That's where it counts. Are they feeling the reduction in crime?
As of Labor Day, we have had almost 21% fewer homicides than last year. And when you think about that, remember that last year, Detroit recorded the fewest homicides it has had since 1957.
Tonight, I'm digging down into the crime numbers that U.S. Attorney Dawn Eisen announced today are trending down. What do the numbers mean? In the summer target areas, this summer, the 8th precinct saw 10 homicides, down just 1 from 11 in 2023. The 9th precinct, homicides this year, 12 compared to 11 last year. Guns recovered in the 8th and 9th, 313 in the 8th, 223 guns in the 9th.
You feel that with the people, that it's safe?
I feel that the streets calmed down a lot.
How do you think they did it if it's calmed down?
They did a pretty good job. You know, a lot of police presence been around, deterring a lot of crime.
They're going after the people with illegal guns. Well, you're saying more people should speak up.
Yeah.
And with my phone, I walked the streets in the 8th precinct, asking people, do you see and do you feel a reduction in crime?
You live in the 8th.
Yes.
What do you hear all the time?
Gunshots.
What happens when you hear them then? Did you see the police response?
Sometimes we don't.
So the numbers show big crimes, homicides are down. Do you see that and feel it out here?
Not really. It's still a lot of crime out here. There's still a lot of gunshots. There's still a lot of people.
Love talking to people in our neighborhoods. I come out in the street and say, hey, Sean from Channel 4, and they go, One Detroit? Exactly. Today's the day of the reporting. People have been tracking this as well, not just the news. And they say, yes, we see heightened police presence, but we hear gunshots every night. That still worries us. We want that police presence to continue. Also, guys, you mentioned at the top, Karen and Devin, 20% decrease citywide in homicides. Think about the number of families that have their family member right here near tonight. That's very important. Back to you.
Most definitely. Like you said, those numbers are people's lives, their families. We appreciate it. Thank you, Sean.
Right now, the community is streaming into a funeral home in Grosse Pointe Park to pay respects to Michigan State Police Motor Carrier Officer Daniel Kerstetter. We've got live pictures here outside the Verheiden Funeral Home on Mack. That's where the visitation is being held. It's going to run until 8 o'clock tonight. His funeral is set for 2 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be at St. Paul on the Lake Church on Lakeshore, which is in Grosse Pointe Farms. And we are going to stream that service tomorrow on Local 4+.
Well, traffic is at a standstill over on eastbound M59 at Rochester Road.
Highway's been shut down for hours now. Crews working to turn a cement truck upright again. It wrecked near the entrance ramp, and as you can see from Sky 4, there is spilled fuel and concrete sprayed across 2 lanes of traffic and the shoulder. They do not know yet how long it is going to take to clean up the mess, but obviously eastbound M59, Rochester Hills in Oakland County, a good area to avoid if you have yet to head out on your afternoon drive.
It was the push alert from Click On Detroit that surprised a whole lot of people. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy clearing the gunman in the shooting at Alliance Tailgate in Eastern Market. She says it is a case of self-defense. Now, that's leading to a whole lot of questions tonight about how our state self-defense laws work.
Yeah, we're also getting our first look at video of the shooting showing how those 2 lives were lost. Let's get to Victor Williams. What can you tell us, Victor?
Well, Devin and Karen, this whole case has just been one big shocker. From the moment that fatal shot was fired all the way up until now, where it was revealed that the person responsible won't be facing any charges.
I believe Kim Worthy in her office looked at all the facts and determined that this individual was committing self-defense when he shot. But still, an innocent life is gone.
Former Detroit Assistant Police Chief Steve Dolan says the biggest factor that made the Eastern Market tailgating shooting a case of self-defense was the question of if the shooter feared for his life.
It's the individual's mindset. If you feel that yourself or someone else is in imminent danger of being killed or feloniously assaulted, then you have the right to protect them and fire a weapon. But it's your mindset, not mine, not the police officers. It's are you in fear of your life? And if you are, then you have the right to discharge your weapon.
The attorney representing the shooter says a newly released video shows that's exactly what his client was thinking when he opened fire on 25-year-old Jalen Welch, who was seen pulling a gun just moments before.
We could not speak more clearly than the video did, and the video speaks for itself, and we believe that that my client acted in absolute self-defense in this regard.
Although 40-year-old innocent bystander Rayshawn Palmer was killed while trying to intervene, the shooter still won't face any charges. But Dolan says it certainly opens up the door for a civil wrongful death lawsuit.
There's going to be huge civil litigation in this.
If that were to happen, I would still take the same appropriate steps to defend my client, even civilly.
And by the way, both the shooter and Jalen Welch were CPL holders. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Real situation still. All right, Victor.
Michigan Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the Oxford School District today in a lawsuit to hold employees responsible for the 2021 Oxford school shooting. The court ruled while staff expressed concerns about the shooter, it was the teenager who made the premeditated decision to take a gun to the school. Law firm representing the Oxford families says they will next ask the Michigan Supreme Court to take up an appeal of that ruling. All right, Vice President Kamala Harris is back in Michigan today for a virtual rally. I want you to take a look at some live pictures from Metro Airport right now. You can see Air Force 2 on the ground after landing here. It happened just about 10 minutes ago. The plane landed. She is set to speak at a virtual event joined by Oprah Winfrey for a live stream called Unite for America. The event aims to register voters and gain support for the Democratic candidate. The event will be held at an undisclosed location in Metro Detroit. Social media posts from Oprah say the event is set to start tonight at 8.
It is really happening. After a win last night and a loss last night and then again today by the Minnesota Twins, the Detroit Tigers are now tied for the final wild card spot in the playoffs. And when you hear that they're the hottest team in baseball, believe it. Check out the graphic that our team made. On August 22nd, that's less than a month ago, the Tigers were 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. But watch what happens. Just keep moving up. The team has gone on to win 25 of the last 35 games, by far the best record in all of baseball over that stretch. Well, with the team off today, they are headed to Baltimore for a 3-game series against the Orioles. Let's just keep enjoying this wonderful ride. Let Karen and Candace pick it up from there.
Wow, winning 25 out of 35 this time of year.
That's wild.
Feeling it.
That graphic made me feel like a Tiger fan, blood pressure going up and down.
Going up like, oh no, this is great news.
It is huge news.
Yeah.
So, Karen, it is a great time to be Detroit Tiger, as Devin has introduced, and it is very important. These next 9 games ahead of them, but their last series against the Royals is what really has them buzzing. Not only did the Tigers complete the series sweep over Kansas City, but they secured their 4th straight series win overall while crossing the 80-win mark for the first time since 2016 season. Just moments ago, the Cleveland Guardians defeated the Minnesota Twins in extra innings, meaning the Tigers are now tied for the final spot in the playoffs. But they know the job isn't done just yet.
Our team's doing a really good job of just being day by day, game by game. You know, I think that's it starts with AJ and his influence on, all of our guys too. So, yeah, we're taking it day by day. We need to keep winning, and hopefully we can control our own destiny.
Oh, it's an exciting time to be a Detroit Tiger, and I think, we're all very passionate about the game, and we love playing the game at a high level, and we're just going to keep going out there, having fun, play for each other, and that's, at the end of the day, don't worry about results, worry about just pitch to pitch and stay where your feet are.
You know, earlier in the season, AJ talked about how even though they were in a slump, that they were going to play out the rest of the season excellent.
Yeah,
And you can see this right here.
They're really, I mean, they're calm, which
They
is
are.
kind of, you know,
that's the best part of this.
Yeah.
Being in the storm is being the calm, right?
It is.
It's been so thrilling. I mean, and now keep in mind, they can't control their own destiny until they get one game up on Minnesota, because both the Twins and the Royals have the tiebreaker over Detroit. But still, how can we even be here?
Right?
It's unreal.
This push, I mean, no matter what happens, that sounds a bit corny, but you get excited for next season as well.
Oh, that's
because
true.
this is the way you finish.
This is so much fun. All right, off and running on this Thursday.